Indian news ma wakɔ aba assign de ba wɔn kasa fidie so bio. Na maka trust before anything else na just a share na ebiem nso kwa na wo subscribe to your channel no. What's the fa political news there? Never governance. Be catch you sa pan put to forma yet. Na pan to forma yet there. Ane na nsɛm foforɔ bi nso asan asi. Benim sɛ wo de nsɛm ade ba nyina na ya na ya wote na ya wohwe na ya wofa nso so. Nti no nsɛm foforɔ bi asi a India news yan so pan ye to for me baby ati nyina chi no ye nsa atumi aka bi na yaso nso atimi atisa nsɛm bi. Yentie nsɛm mmra sisi a na mpanifo mpo se kakom no ye che no koku enum. De ba before that no subscribe to your channel no. Sabeka all other news fa politics one de opesa wote no ho. Itie ba ebe on baby asusu anso person de body no fa. Na de asie bia no so fa comment enso to ase na yenkenkan informaw de ready na emeko. Yentie nsɛm mmra sisi a utie no fa comment to ase ba de emfa nchemu no so ento aso. Yentie mmra.
First, and here is something stake. I'm talking about the OSP getting it right. Now, I must have been the very first person to have done pieces about the OSP and the OSP Act, particularly as it concerns plea bargaining. When it was being passed and after the act was passed, plea bargain was first formally provided for in the OSP Act in our jurisprudence. Plea bargain is a decision a lawyer gets their client to make not lightly at all. The kind we do in Ghana often involves the accused pleading guilty. You only escape sentence or jail on account of making refunds, payments, and restitution, helping the state with actionable intelligence and evidence to catch more or even bigger thieves. It doesn't take away the conviction that hangs around your neck. You become an ex-convict. That's what everybody wants to avoid. In 2015, the state, that's the BNI and the Attorney General, retrieved over 30 million in the National Service Secretariat scandal before the trial was botched. William Atuasian managed to pay 30 million of the 90 million debts before his imprisonment in 2023. And that's why I was unhappy that the Attorney General, Godfrey Dami, failed, for whatever reasons, to accept the plea offer of 2 million euros, only to lose the case in the end at the Court of Appeal. It's been public that I was lawyer for a number of those NSS staff who did a plea bargain then, and also that I have been representing Atuasian in the civil case against shareholders and debtors of Capital Bank. One thing is clear. The OSP appears to do a thorough job compelling accused persons to opt for or to make plea deals. This is how they do it. By law, they have to show you the evidence. And when you see that the evidence is so overwhelming against you, some can take the decision that I'll fight it. After all, our criminal justice system has problems. So you can fight it for 3, 4, 5 years, maybe somehow down the line, and things may just get botched and you get free. But making that decision is not a light one. So look at what the OSP has done, reported in the course of this week. It's gotten convictions of people who are involved in payroll scam. People who are involved in payroll scam, and has retrieved some money from them. the value of what has been retrieved from the 6 convicted is not what we should be looking at, particularly concerning the monetary value. That's not what we should be looking at. Because what they have succeeded in doing is blocking or plugging a hole where this rot may have continued for years, where people at the helm, together with, those unscrupulous people and thieves, would have continued to pillage the state through the recruitment scam. That's what they have stopped. That is important. In any case, it is also the mandate of the OSP. The OSP's mandate includes recovery of money. In fact, the law sets up a special division for recovery. So even though their job is to prosecute, investigate and prosecute, they also have a job to recover funds, stolen funds. Section 71 of the OSP Act provides for plea bargain. It says a person under investigation or charged with corruption or corruption-related offenses may voluntarily admit the offense and make an offer of restitution, or admit the offense and offer to provide information that will aid in the arrest and prosecution of another person whom that person knows have committed or are about to commit corruption or corruption-related offenses. After this, we celebrated Attorney General Godfrey Dame for leading the process to pass a formalized process, comprehensive for plea bargain in this country, where you could get the offense charge reduced, or you could get a lesser offense, you could get the offense charge withdrawn, or the charge withdrawn, and you could also get small punishment or lesser punishment once you are ready to make a plea and pay and make restitution. So I'll suggest that it is wrong to be talking about an OSP that has been giving so much money and recovering little. It's not true. This is a commencement establishment. It requires a lot of funds to set up infrastructure and all that it requires to catch up with established ones like Yoko Police, etc. Comparing the budget with amounts recovered is ill-informed at best. And please don't follow that propaganda that they have not prosecuted any cases. Go to their website. They have loads of cases that they are prosecuting in our very courts. I don't understand why we seem to have hate for an institution fighting the corruption that we claim to be against. Tomorrow I'll be dealing with plea bargain in extensive way on my show, The Law, at 2 p.m. So join me, and I'll be remiss, most of you looking up to hear me about the matter we discussed about Anas the other day. Look, if you are known to lie, to blackmail, and openly threaten journalists, even insult judges, and get away with it. Yes, if you can get away with treasonable comments because the plutocratic politics has handed you loads of money, it is understandable why you will pretend to rejoice over a judgment that indicts you, finds you guilty of telling untruths and falsehoods. In the Anas case, the jury gave him so much, but the judge later found that the maximum, according to the defamation law of New Jersey, in the circumstances of this case, was 500. He says he got what he really wanted, a judgment in his favor, because Kenneth Japong could not prove any of his allegations against him in court. And that's how we do it in a civilized society. Yes, I can imagine the damage to the peddler of the falsehoods and the relief to the victor, the relief from what Justice Kolendi and Tanko later deprecated and washed their hands off. This will be my take.
Looking to level